Yo guys, what's up? It's Blackheart here and welcome to a new video. I want to apologize at the beginning because this video will probably not be very edited because I want to release it as soon as possible, so I'll put timestamps in the description so you can check whatever you want about this character. But as I promised, today we're gonna try to take a look at Bob, a little bit what he does, the most important things to know about the character, and I don't know, I'll try to go for sections. So first of all, we're gonna see how his punishment looks like. Then maybe we're gonna see how his hit looks like. Then maybe his main lows, his main mids, his most important moves, his key moves, and also a little bit how his stances work. So let's go. First of all, let's see his punishment. So his 10 frame punish is 1-1-2. It's a very good punish, pretty standard punish, like a Mishima punish, 24 damage plus 3 on hit, and also he also has 1-4. 1-4 is less damage than 1-1-2, less damage than 1-1-2, but it's more plus on it. So 1-1-2 is only plus 3, while 1-4 is a little bit less damage, but it's plus 5 on hit. So you have a little bit more game maybe if you want the pressure game. But both punishment is very good. Then 12 frame he has forward 2-3, which is a very long range punish, as you can see. It's crazy. It's one of the best 12 frame punish in the game probably right now. Of course it war splats for a full combo. So I don't know what to say, guys. Just simply a very good punish. Be careful because it's a high mid. So, for example, against attacks that recover crouching, this is not a good option, okay? If you miss it out, it's minus 15, so you're gonna get launched. So be careful in throwing out this punish, but it's a very strong punish. And also, of course, he's powered up forward 2. He has a powered up forward 2 in it, which is forward 2-1 plus 2-1. Which is insane. It's a 44 damage punish that breaks the floor. And the most important thing is that the first part of the animation is actually safe. Forward to 1 plus 2 is safe. That is absolutely insane. And not only this, but the full string is only minus 12. So it's not even very punishable, a lot of punishable. So you can throw it out kinda almost no risk, but again be careful because of course the last hit is punishable. But again, the thing is that you can kind of confirm this, like you can see that it hits and then you do the final hit, you see, and then I do the final one. So you can do this for safe and then you do the final one if you see that the first part connecting a little bit delayed. Then 13 frames, he has down forward 4. Down forward 4-3 that goes into stance, and down forward 4-4, which again both of them are high. The first hit is a high, so again be careful because against things that recover crouching minus 13, this is not a good option. But again, they are both very good, especially this is a hit engager. Down forward 4-4 is a hit engager for a small combo. Let me remove heat for now, okay? So very good punish, and again super solid punish. Also down forward 4-3 as well goes into stance at plus 12. We're gonna see the stance gameplay a little bit later, but yeah, both are very strong punishment tools. But again, be careful because it's a high. Okay, if you want instead a mid 13 frame punish, he has back to 1. This is his 13 frame mid punish. When you wanna punish something maybe that is minus 13 and recovers crouching. He also has this new punch which is very strong. Honestly, all of his 13 frame punishers are very good. Both this one, and this one. This also goes at the same mix-up at minus 12 for the opponent. Plus 12 for you, minus 12 for the opponent. So again, very strong. All of this is very strong. And then 14 frames, he also has down 1 plus 2, 1 plus this string. Again, all high, so again, be careful as always. But again, if you want to punish something that's minus 14 standing, you can also do this into guaranteed back 3. And then he also has for whiff punishment, I will suggest you also doing up 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2. Or up 1 plus 2, 4, which are both very good, guys, because they start from up 1 plus 2. That's a crazy range tool to whiff punish. Look at this punish, it's 16 frames. the startup. The first frame is 16 frames. It goes all over 17 frames and 18 frames. So again, be careful of whiffing against Bob because he has very long range whiff punishment tools. Again, this one is super crazy. It wars plots, but again, be careful because it's unpunishable on block. But again, super strong punish. And the first, let's say, weakness he has, kind of big weakness that he has, is that he doesn't have a standing 15 frame launcher. That's a main weakness of the character that they patched in Tekken 7 because they gave him an up kick in Tekken 7 which used to launch again 15 frames. Now he doesn't have it anymore again. So that's a nerf, considerably huge nerf that brings back his identity, and I like it. His identity of being one of the few characters that cannot launch 15 frames in this game. The first useful punish with Bob that launches, again, if you have the execution, you can do instant crouch dash 1 when you block something that's minus 15 or 16 or whatever, but it's super hard to do. Then his first real easy punishment launcher is down back 1+2. Down back 1+2 is minus 13 on block, and it's a very nice whiff punisher because as you can see the range is kind of there as always. It's kind of, I don't know, range 2.4 or even range, yeah, 2.5 even. Yeah, range 2.5 and so on. So it's a full combo here. As you can see, you can get a full combo. Which is, again, it's a very good punisher, and this is basically his most important standing punishment. He also has while standing punishment, of course, like every other character. So he has while standing 4, which is 11 frames, and I think they kind of nerfed this because this used to do more damage in Tekken 7. Now it deals less damage. I think it used to be like even 20 damage probably. Now it is 16 damage, which is a little bit worse, but it's there. Then he has while standing 1-2, so he has both a 13 frame punish standing and while standing Heat Engager. This punish is super good, guys, by the way, super strong punish. He's another character, by the way, that has a 13 frame while standing punisher, 13 frames Heat Engager, another one of those. So I don't know. I think they're obsessed now with giving every character a 13 frame easy 13 frame while standing punish engager for some reason. So Bob has 1-2. And it's very strong. Also because it's a elbow. So for example, it punishes consistently, I don't know, you block links down back 2 while sending 1-2 is a full punish. It's not like, I don't know, it cannot be parried. So that's very strong. And also he has while sending 2-1. While sending 2-1 is a 14 frame launcher. So he doesn't have a easy 15 frame launcher standing, but he has a very nice while standing 14 frame launcher. Be careful, bro. Be careful, guys. Because if you block this, you're minus 20. So you're basically dead. So this is his punishment. This is his punishment. Now, let's take a look maybe at his hit. How his hit functions. Again, his most important engagers, without further ado, are... The first one, which is very good, of course, is 1-2. 1-2 is a G-clef. G-clef 10 frames. The last is minus 14, so not even a huge commitment. Is high mid, this string 1-2. And again, it's a very strong. It's basically, you know, something you throw out. It's not. I don't think it's confirmable, or like Twitch confirmable. Yeah, you gotta kind of commit to this. Maybe a little bit, yes. A little bit, yes, probably a little bit. But, you know, it's not like super doable like Dragunov, for example, which is, I think, easier to do. And again, it's minus 14, so be careful to throw this out, and it's a very strong engager. Down 4, we already talked about this. While sending 1-2, we already talked about this. And then he has one engager from stance. We talk about the stance a little bit later more, but again, he has it. Stance 1-2, so rolling 1-2. It's a mid-high, so you can duck the high. Be careful, because if you block this, Bob is +1 for Bob. So it's actually plus here, so be careful in trying to... Maybe a common frame trap could be, if someone doesn't know, you could do this into G-clef, and if you press, you die, so be careful. And also 4-4-2. Of course, this is probably his main engager, probably the one that probably you spam the most in the neutral. Again, very solid move, guys. It's a Demon Paw, the classic Demon Paw Heat Engager, which as always init launches. And again, it's super strong, guys, on Bob especially. It's a super strong move. I don't know what to tell you, guys. It's simply a golden move. Okay, so be careful. It's safe on block, or it's at -8. And again, it's super strong. Once he gets into it, he has some moves out of it. So the first one that we already talked about is forward to 1+2. Again, this very strong punish that, you know, knocks down into guaranteed follow-up. No, sorry, not into floor break, I mean. And again, very strong punish, guys. Be careful. Then he also has stance 1-4. He gets a new move out of stance, which is stance 1-4. Which I don't like particularly, not gonna lie. I don't like the animation. It almost seems like, I don't know, made from tool assisted or something. I don't know. It doesn't flow well. This animation doesn't flow well, as you can see. It like stops me through the animation. See, before he's here and now he's here, but it doesn't flow naturally. I don't know how to explain it to you. The animation seems not natural, and the weird part about this movie is that you can do this even on whiff. But this is not something that comes. The full animation doesn't come out on block only, like it's usually with these kind of animations. But even on whiff, you see, and it's +4 on block, so it's a plus extension out of the stand string. Again, very kind of strong. So it's basically the main tool to keep up the momentum when he gets the stance, because the rest of the things in stance are kind of slow. Again, I'm gonna show you later. And of course, the main thing, one of the most important things that he has out of stance, out of it, are two new things overall. He has a new string which is up forward 1-2-2. Usually, he only has up forward 1-2. I'm gonna show you. Without it, he only has up forward 1-2. In it, up forward 1-2 gets an extension. Up forward 1-2-2. This extension is very strong, guys, because again, it's +5 on block. +5 on block. And so it's very strong. And if the full string hits, bro, this full string, it's insane damage. You can kind of confirm this as well, kinda. Not a lot, but it's a little bit doable, yeah. And it's a +5 on block, and on hit it's 44 damage. So the damage gets to insane levels, so be very careful. This string has a weakness, double weakness, because the first hit tracks to the right fully, but it's very weak to sidestep left. And even the last hit, by the way, let's say you block the first two hits, even the last hit is fully sidesteppable to the left. So of course, be careful in throwing this out too much, because if your opponent knows, you're fucking fucked. You're fucking fucked. I loved it. Another important move of his is down forward 3+4. In it, down forward 3+4 is basically one of his main lows. Even though he has it only from it, it's a very strong low, because it's -13 only. For some reason, counter launches as well. I don't know the reason. It should only knock down into a guaranteed follow-up. I don't know why this thing fucking counter launches. It's kind of fast. It's 21 frames. And it goes into a stance mix-up at +7 on it. So, super strong. And it tracks left. It tracks his weak side. I'm gonna show you. Block all into sidestep left. You see? But it doesn't track right with sidewalk. Yeah, you see? It sidewalk over to the right, instead it fully tracks to the left. And again, he goes into +7 in stance. Again, we're gonna see what he can do in stance at +7 later, but again, it's very strong. His heat smash is very strong, guys. It tracks to the right. On sidewalk, even on sidewalk right, it fully tracks to the right, basically. And it has a very unique property which makes this hit smash kind of strong, which is, of course, probably you know already, the fact that if you do this correctly, boom, with correct timing, it deals 60 damage, which is an absurdly amount of damage. And if he's also in rage, it can reach even to 65, 68 damage with counter. Like, it's completely crazy. It's almost like one combo damage out of a hit smash, which is, by the way, again, fully tracking to the right, 16 frames, and it's +6 on block. No stance transition, thank fucking god. No stance transition, but it's kind of strong. Again, so be careful to sidestep right this character, because he has a lot of things that track to that side. Again, in it, his hit smash tracks right, while the main low tracks left, basically. About the hit dash launchers, he doesn't have basically all of his hit dash. He only has one hit dash launcher, which is 442. The rest of his hit dashes don't launch. Okay, so this is another weakness of the card, let's say, in the sense that it doesn't have good hit, apart from one, which is very good, this one. The rest of it dashes don't launch. So again, be careful with that. If you wanna get a hit dash combo, you gotta commit to 442, and that's easy. Okay, so we talked about his hit and his main punishment tools. Okay, now let's try to talk about his key moves, the moves that I use the more in the neutral, and the moves I would suggest of you to use more in the neutral. So of course, let's start with his poking tools, the main one. So he's down for one. It's kind of nice. It's a 14 frame down for one. It's not a 15. It's not a 13 frame down for one. It's a 14 frame down for one. It's kind of good because it's only -2 on block, which is very safe for a down for one. Usually are -3 now, -4, because now this also has an extension. It has multiple extensions. There's a down forward 1-2, which is -10, and the full string is natural, by the way. Yeah, I don't remember if in the previous game it was natural. I think now it's natural, but the last state is -10 instead of -9, something like this, I think. Now the full string, now it's -10, so be careful. You can punish this. And you can kind of also delay this, so if they try to sidestep you after down for one, you can also delay. But as you can see, it's kind of linear. Even the extension is kind of linear. Speaking of his down for one, generally speaking, it tracks to the right while it doesn't track to left. From down for one, he also has another extension, which is down forward 1-1, which is kind of nice. He always had this in Tekken 7 as well. On counter it guarantees down forward. On counter it guarantees while standing 1-2. So full on hit engager. And it's -13 on block though, so be careful in committing to this option too much because you're gonna get punished. I'm gonna show you. -13, so be careful. Also, another very strong move of his is his back 2. Of course, basically his other main poking mid, which is this time. This has good tracking to the left, and from back 2 he also has different extensions. He has back to 1, which is again punishable on block but goes into stance at +12, and back to 2, which is a high. The same strings he had. This is the same string he had in Tekken 7 and before. He has back to 2, 4, 4. Back to 2 is basically natural. He also has this thing to try and mix you up if you wanna challenge back to 2. He has the extension to try and mix you up. The third hit is punishable, I think -11, and the full string is safe, but it's a high, so you can duck and launch. So a string with some counter, but also some tricky things in it. Okay, speaking of his poking tools, other important poking tools to use mids in the neutral. We're talking about mids for now. It's down 1, which is super nice, guys. One of the best mids he has, probably. Down 1 is super good range, as you can see, super good range. 18 frames, -8 on block. He always had this tool. It's an essential tool of the character, I would say, to poke your opponents. Kind of fast. It knocks on counter. It knocks down for a guaranteed follow-up. It's a very nice move, guys. It's always been. It probably will always be. So remember to use this move as well. And speaking of his poking, also sometimes you can throw out a down back 2, which is also a poking tool, you know, to control opponents. Down back 2, 14 frames. Nice mid, -8, nice mid to throw out with no particular things to show, but nice move. Okay, so another very good string that you have to use sometimes in the neutral with Bob. It's always been back 1-2 because it's a mid safe string. Which the first hit is it's kind of linear, okay, but the first hit is only 18 frames, which kind of fast. And again, back 1-2 is very good, but guys, it's a mid string, safe. Also, other important tools to remember, of course, are his down forward 2, which is basically one of the best down forward 2s probably in the game right now. Why? Because it doesn't launch on normal hit, unfortunately. But it's -8, so it's safe, and it's a super nice counter tool. It launches on counter it, and again, it's one of the tools probably that you use in neutral the most, instead of with down for 1, down for 2. Okay, so other essential tools. For example, he also has forward 4, which is his main homing, basically, which is kind of nice. It's a homing high, very fast, 16 frames, which is very fast. It guarantees a back 3 as always, on the ground into Oki. Okay. Again, it's a golden move of the character. Very strong homing because this character lacks a good homing mid. Sometimes it feels very linear. For example, also 442, which is his main approach tool. 442 basically. It's the tool you want to approach opponents with. It's very linear, so if they try to sidestep you more, maybe it's when you use forward 4 or even forward 4. Even this is also homing, but it's minus 12, but it wall splats minus 12 if you do the full string, but it's also a homing tool because it's also on a 4-4 input. So when they try to sidestep you on 4-4-2, maybe that's why you when you throw out 4-4-4-4, wait again, be careful because it's unsafe on block. Another essential tool of the character is sidestep 1+2. Again, this tool is essential for the character, guys. It's a very strong mid, guys. Very strong. It's a 15 frame mid on sidestep, which is very safe on block. It's only -5 on block, which is absurdly strong. It knocks down and it wall splats. So the character has, again, this essential tool on sidestep, which is very good, guys. A very good mid overall, very solid mid. And it's -5 only on block. Crazy strong. His main power, he also has a very nice power crush that I want to talk about, which is forward 1+2. It's his main power crush. It's his only power crush in the neutral. Again, guys, a very solid power crush. He's 16 frame only. Probably one of the fastest power crushes in the game, probably. It's -14 on block, so be careful. I'm gonna show you. So be careful to throw this out too much because you're gonna get... I think it was only -12 in Tekken 7, if I'm not mistaken, or something. I don't... But now it's -14. So it's more punishable. So be careful because opponents are gonna punish you properly if they block this. And you're gonna fucking die. So, of course, be careful with this. Now I really want to talk about a very important move, I think, which is one of probably of his most insane moves. A move that makes zero sense. Okay, a move that makes zero fucking sense. Okay, that I don't know why it's in the game in the first place. Back 3+4. Okay, so let's talk about this move. This move makes zero sense. This is probably one of the most insane moves, insane mids I've ever seen in my life. This is an 18 frame, mamma mia, 18 frame, 19 frame mid that hits from like range 3.4. It's fucking insane. So it seems like knock this range. It's 3.4 range, yeah, 3.4 range. It's safe. It's a safe mid, kilometric safe mid. That is very fast and wall splat as well. It's kind of linear, okay? It's kind of linear if you read it, but it's the safeness of the move that is crazy, and also a good chunk of damage as well. So basically the matches are like dig in, and then dig in. If you go watch streamers playing these characters right now, basically most of them are just playing dig in, and now dig in, and maybe now dig in, because this move is so insanely good as a mid, especially considering it's a mid. You can sidestep it, but again, it's super uber mega ultra safe. It also creates some pushback on block, by the way, for some reason. This is the ass of God. I don't understand. It also like look at the pushback. With a small backdash, you're back into safe zone basically. So you can kind of even I don't know, like put this from a range. What is this move? What is this move, man? What is this move, bro? I hope they fix this move immediately because this move makes zero sense. This move is absolutely brain dead. Brain dead. I don't know why it's in the game. I don't know. It's absolutely insanely stupid. I don't know what to say. Bro, what the fuck are you doing? Delete this move now, immediately. Now, god damn it, now. Okay, so now let's take a look maybe at his main plus frames. Basically, the main plus frames, which is an approach tools. Okay, the approach tools, again, approaching. Basically, you do it with 4-4-2. Basically, 4-4-2. Wave dash. Okay, he also has a wave dash we'll talk about very soon. And another good tool to approach probably is 4-4-3. Okay, 4-4-3. It's a nice move because he also tracks to the left. Okay, but it's a high, yeah? It's the only move of his that goes into the crouch dash transition on block. Okay, the only move. It goes into crouch dash at +2, which is not a lot for the character, at being +2 into crouch dash. Because basically, for example, I'm gonna show you that if you side walk right, basically almost everything gets beaten, as you can see. Even CD1, which is extremely strong, gets beaten. The only thing that when, as you can see, the two works. Okay, but the rest of the moves are beaten, as you can see. Even the Watson in 4, crouch dash 1+2. You see? So, and again, also it's also only +2. So for example, you can also jab, which beats a lot of options. So it's not like the best transition ever, but again, sometimes like there is a little small mind game. Okay, if you sidestep, there are some things that win and others don't. Like the things that win here in this interaction are either this, which is very situational, it's not very used, the 3, or the 2, which is super good, but it's also minus 20 million on block if you commit to these options. So of course, it's not like they throw out this like easily, okay? And the main options get sidestepped, okay? The Hell Sweep gets sidestepped, the CD1 gets also sidestepped, so yeah. And again, it's only only +2. So for example, you can also, if you read that basically it's gonna do a mid, you can also power crush, for example. You can also dig jab almost everything, okay? That's why I'm saying that, for example, I'm going to show you the dig jab option here. Basically, the dig jab only loses to the while standing 4, if I'm not mistaken. The rest gets beaten, as you can see. So, again, strong transition, but basically there's a lot of counter, but let's say it's not like you cannot do anything against this transition. But again, it's a nice move because it's very safe on block, and it's a high, and it knocks down when it hits. So you actually have a guaranteed follow-up here, of course. For example, a crouch dash 2 or something like this. So it's a nice move to approach sometimes. Of course, to approach heavier, you have the running moves. He has running 3, which is +6, kind of nice. And running 3 +4, which is even more damage. Very nice, of course. But it's 0 on block, so it's not plus on block. But it's a nice move to approach your opponent sometimes with. And again, of course, he also has the approach with the wave dash, with the the wave dash mix-up. You can do the Hell Sweep from wave dash, which you can do CD1, which is a crazy tool to approach opponents with. Okay, CD1. Again, this tool has always been one of Bob's greatest tools. It's only -4 on block. It launches. It has nice tracking in the neutral. It's a very strong tool of the character, guys. Well, I don't know what to say. It's probably one of his best moves. And he also has crouch dash 1 +2 for the people who duck too much. Okay, of course, you can also charge this. The non-charge version is -10. Instead, the charge version is plus on block. It's +4 on block. So there's also this little mind game. And again, it's a very strong mind game from this. But again, as I showed you, for example, sidestep. Of course, sidestepping can be useful against this. But as I showed you, of course, you can realign because it's on wave dash, right? It's like basically Mishima. Okay. It's like you are dealing with a Mishima on this, basically, okay? So if you do the things, if you commit to the things immediately, he's gonna get sidestepped, of course. But if you realign with crouch dash, of course, this is gonna track again, as always, like a Mishima traditional gameplay, okay? And also, again, from crouch dash, the last thing he has is also crouch dash 3. Again, it's kind of nice, crouch dash 3. He has crouch dash 3-2, which is plus on block, but it's a high, and crouch dash 3-4, which is basically one of his main combo tools, which is it's unsafe on block, but it's mid. Vabbè, nice string out of crouch. This is a new string out of crouch, it's kind of nice, but again, it's there. Okay, so now we talked about crouch dash, about wave dash, about the approach. Maybe let's talk about now his main lows, okay? His most important lows, the lows that you have to use the most about this character, and basically what you need to use with, in terms of low pokes with this character. Yes, his lows are okay, but I think there is honestly better in this game. For example, his main low is down back 3, which is nice, don't get me wrong, it's also plus on hit, it also has a counter property. For example, in Tekken 7, it also guaranteed a back 3 after. Now, no, not anymore. It got nerfed, But it tracks a lot, especially to one side. I'm gonna, as I'm showing right now, you see the tracking to the right. This, in fact, you see it fully tracks to the right, basically. Tracking is insane, and it's only 20 frames fast, so it's kind of fast. But the thing is that it doesn't have a super it doesn't have like a Nina poking tool in terms of lows. His main low again is 20 frames, which is a little bit heavy. On the faster low side, it doesn't have a lot. I'm gonna try to show you the best. Down 3, okay, but it's -18 on block. Maybe use this low to close rounds, okay, but it's also minus on hit. -7 on it. It has an extension. It doesn't have any counter property, the extension. As you can see, it doesn't even knock down. It's okay, but it's not like the best low ever. Down back 4 is also nice. It's only -12, but it's, you see, -31, so you're basically dead, as good as dead. It also doesn't have the best tracking, and also the best range, honestly. The range, it's there, but it's not like the best range ever. It's basically mostly used at the wall. At the wall, it becomes kind of scary. Because again, it puts you at +8 for Bob in this situation, in which of course he can pressure your lot. He can even, you know, double do this, you know. For example, he can kind of try to spam this over and over again. Because again, the situation is very plus for Blobby. But again, as I told you, it's a very high risk, high reward. So again, if you block this, Bob is as good as dead. So it's there. On the safer lows, bro, guys, yes, a new low, which is this, and this is very nice. This low is kind of nice. It's also it has very good tracking. It's a low from full crouch. It's only -12 on block, which is kind of nice. Okay, very safe low, and it also has a counter property as well. So again, of course, he also has down 40 +4, by the way. We already talked about this earlier. Again, he also has this, which is kind of nice, guys. Kind of nice. It's very fast, 19 frames. It's plus on hit as well, which is very good to hear. Plus on hit, and again, it also has a counter property. It guarantees back 3. So again, to poke with this low, I think you kind of have to use this low in the long run with Bob, because it's an essential tool to try and poke your opponent. Otherwise, what do? Otherwise, we always have to commit to slower options or like heavier options. Sometimes we need to try to play the poke gameplay, and this low is kind of sets the deal. And its fastest low, which can kind of be used sometimes in the neutral, is down 4. Its fastest low. Okay, this low is also nice, guys, because it's also -12 on block. Okay, which is kind of nice. Okay, and it also has some good tracking, as you can see. So don't forget about this low, guys. Nobody is using this low still, because okay, so this low is -1 on it, so you're actually minus on it. But this low has an extension. Okay, this low has an extension, so it's also nice, for example, to close rounds with this low. And also, the full string is guaranteed. But if you get hit by the first part of the string on counter it, again, it's a 16 frame low, so very fast. The full string is guaranteed, so it's kind of nice. Okay, so don't forget about this low, guys. Okay, don't forget about this low. Again, it's not like the best low ever. And the full extension, by the way, is -15, guys, so be careful. But you know, having down 4 to sometimes poke with not risking your life can be decent with the cards. Okay, so basically poking lows, you have down back 3, full crouch down 4, and down 4. Okay, in the neutral again, which again are not like game breaking, but he fully shines on his heavier lows, on the high risk high reward low, like this one, the hell sweep and whatnot. And of course, full down forward 3 +4 when he's in it, which again is a super nice low, guys. Super nice. It goes into +7 into stance, and it's crazy. Okay, other situational moves. Then before going into the stance, other situational moves that maybe you can try to use sometimes with the character. But these are situational though. For example, back 1 +2. It's kind of a nice mid, not gonna lie. The full string is guaranteed on counter it, and it deals insane amounts of damage, as you can see. Pam, pa, pa, Amaron. So very nice, very nice string. But again, on block it's -9, so of course you lose your turn. But sometimes throwing this out, you know, it could be kind of nice. Of course, another move that is a new move that I didn't talk about is up 3. Okay, up 3 is very nice, guys. It's a very nice mid because it's 22 frames. It's +3 by itself. It's +7 on hit, and it's basically the main mid to go into the main pressure mid to go into stance. Okay, from the main pressure of Bob, you always go into stance at like +7. You go in stance at like +7, +8 on the main tools. Okay, so now we're gonna see the situation at +7 in this stance. Again, it's basically one of his new moves, one of the best moves he has right now, probably. And he puts you into a nice situation on block. Okay, on counter it, this move guarantees 1-2, stance 1-2, which is very nice. Okay, you basically use this move more on Oki. because it's kind of slow, it's kind of sidesteppable. I don't know, you know, when someone wakes up, pa, they hit this into a nice mix-up. So it's there, and don't forget about using this nice mid as well. Now let's go into his stance, his other stance. Again, I told you that basically 443 is his main approach tool to go into crouch dash, otherwise you gotta do it manually. The other stance of the character is rolling stance with this one. Okay, so basically the main transition into this stance are up 1 plus 2, which is very good, especially on hit, because it's plus 8 on hit. On block, guys, I'm gonna tell you, the stance transitions on block on rolling stance are kind of trash, almost all of them. This one is 0 on block, which is actually not good for the stance, because everything he does in the stance is kind of slow. You need a lot of plus frames to be scared with this stance, because the things he does out of stance are very slow. So be careful in throwing this out, because it's actually punishable, this transition probably here. So careful. He also, of course, as I told you before, he has back to 1 that goes into stance, and down forward for 3 that goes into stance at plus 12, which is very strong. And now let's try to see the things he can do in stance. So in stance he has stance 1, which is 15 frames. Okay, 15 frames. Stance 2, which is 23 frames. So okay, it's a homing mid. Stance 1, okay, from stance 1, again, I told you can do stance 1, 2, which is a hit engager, and stance 1, 4, which is his main hit extension. He also has a 3, which is plus frames. It's a plus frame mid, which is plus 4, but it's 24 frames, though, The main low in this stance is minus 24 on block, and it's 23 frames, and it doesn't even launch on normal hit, it only launches on counter hit, so of course be careful, okay, but it's again dead on block, okay. He also has a 1 plus 2 power crush in this stance, which is again kind of nice. Basically his normal power crush is also in stance, and it's 16 frames. He also has a throw out of this stance, which is up forward 1 plus 2, which is again 21 frames. This is the normal one. This is the one out of stance, which is again 21 frames. So of course, kind of slow. And he also has a 3 plus 4, which is 29 frames. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that even if you're plus 12, let's say, or like for example, out of up 3, which is plus 7 on block, or even for example out of this, which is plus 7 on it, a lot of the things he does in stance are kind of slow. So basically the only threatening thing, the really threatening thing is the 1, because it's 50. The fastest thing he can do is 15 frames. So of course when he's plus 12, for example out of this is plus 12 and he does this, basically you cannot do anything about the 1 on it, right? You cannot do anything about this. But for example, if you ever read on a slower mid, for example, you can dig jab, you can power crush, even if Bob is plus 12. I'm gonna show you, for example, the dig jab thing, right? Let's see. I'm gonna try, for example, the mid here. Even at plus 12, the mid gets destroyed. Okay, even if I do the homing, for example, it gets destroyed. Even if I'm plus 12, even if I do the plus frame mid, I'm gonna get power crushed. Okay. Again, you have some options. If you believe that Bob is gonna commit to, for example, to a very heavy mid. Otherwise, of course, I'm suggesting you to stay calm at plus 12. At plus 7, there is more counterplay. At plus 7, there is more counterplay. For example, let's say this is the same from this situation. Let's lab, for example, what we can do out of up 3. Okay, for example, if you do sidestep right, from sidestep right, yeah, for example, you see the 3 gets beaten, the 4 gets beaten, the 3 plus 4 gets kinda beaten, yeah, you see, the 1 plus 2 gets beaten, the throw gets beaten, okay, as you can see, wins, the 1 wins, of course, okay, so be careful. But now, if you sidestep left instead, the 1 gets beaten, the 1 plus 2 gets beaten, the 4 gets beaten, the 3 plus 4 gets beaten, the 3 wins. So again, you see the little gameplay. If you sidestep right, you lose to the 1. If you sidestep left, you lose to the 3. But as always, for example, this is only if you're talking about the movement part of this thing. Of course, in this situation, for example, you can even try to power crush. what happens if you power crush, for example? Okay, again, I'm gonna try to show you the different kind of game plans. Okay, if you try to power crush, for example, in this situation, so now we're gonna do the power crush shenanigans. Again, since the fastest mid is 15 frames. All the mids lose against this, basically. I'm gonna... you see? If Bob commits to a mid in this situation and you don't want to sidestep, the Power Crush beats every mid, basically. So at this point, Bob can threaten you only with one option. Okay, you see, basically all the mids lose. Bob can threaten you only with the low, which is, again, is sidesteppable. And again, the low is a huge commitment because it's very slow. And it's also minus 24 on block, so of course it's a bigger commitment, okay? Of course, Power Crush gets beaten by the low and by the throw, of course. So, no, as you can see, even the throw wins, of course, in this situation. So, of course, you gotta be careful. But again, the thing is that, of course, there is counterplay to this stuff, as always, okay? There is a little bit of a counterplay. For example, if you decide instead of dig jabbing now, dig jabs, of course, dig jab, of course, gets beaten by the mid. So be careful. But again, for example, if you try to dig jab, of course, it always doesn't win against everything. But as you can see, for example, it gets beaten by the 1. For example, the 3 loses, the 2 loses, the low loses, the throw loses. Okay, it gets beaten by 3+4. It gets beaten by the Power Crush. And basically the same situation out of this, okay? Because it's the same plus frames. Even on this situation, you're +7 instead, so... yeah. And honestly, that's it, guys. I think we talked about Bob sufficiently enough. We talked about these main things: punishment, mids, loads, stances, approach, and so on. So... I hope you liked this video. It was a lot of work, guys. I talked for a long time. I hope you liked this, and hopefully, guys, see you guys very soon again. Of course, if you like this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. And honestly, guys, I don't know what to tell you. Thank you, everybody, for all your amazing love, all of your amazing support, and I'm liking Bob. I'm really liking Bob a lot in these days. I'm having a lot of fun with him. He's a complete character with also some problems, though. So it's not like a perfect character. I'm looking forward to play more of this character with you guys. I hope you like this video, and see you guys very soon again. Take care. Love you. Bye.